Alright, we all love Memento when it first came out. The chilling story of a man struggling with memory issues tasked with uncovering the murder of his wife is really something that gets you wondering, eh? Well, since then, the cast of Memento has appeared in a number of movies. Today, we'll go over their ventures outside of the movie. First up, we have the main man, Guy Pearce. His most famous TV series since then has to be Jack Irish, an Australian show that follows a former lawyer turned private investigator and debt collector. Most of the show is based in Melbourne in the suburbs of Fitzroy, a location with a caliber fit for the show. One interesting thing to note is that the TV show was actually a movie trilogy before the show's producers decided that a better move was to release it as a 3-6 episode series. Though the original movies were directed by Jeffrey Walker, the series had a bit of a change-up in that department, with Kieran Darcy Smith stepping in to fill Jeffrey Walker's shoes. A decision, we might add, that turned out to be a great one, as the series managed to really take off. Since its release, the show itself has been nominated for numerous awards. Guy Pearce himself was nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Miniseries or Motion Picture at the Sichuan Music Festival back in 2015 for his awesome portrayal of Jack Irish. The TV series even ended up being adapted into a 4-part novel series by Peter Temple. 3 of them even ended up winning the Ned Kelly Award for crime writing and crime fiction. Talk about achievements. Pearce was also in the leading cast of a recent Liam Neeson film released in 2022. He plays the role of Vincent, a CPS officer whose daughter has been kidnapped by a sex trafficker by the name of Papa Leon. The film's focus switches between Liam Neeson's Alex, a hitman suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and Guy Pearce's Vincent Sierra. We can tell you right now that the film has a major plot twist that you don't want to miss. The film was highly successful as it grossed over $13.5 million worldwide and managed to finish 8th at the box office on opening day. Next up, we have the ever-loved Carrie-Anne Moss. She definitely stepped up her game by playing the part of Trinity in the movie Matrix Resurrections. The Matrix, the holy grail of Hollywood sci-fi. It wasn't a small-time role either. The woman was a part of the main cast. We're drooling at the thought of Carrie and Keanu on screen together. It's really a cast made in heaven. The film itself is set 60 years after the last Matrix movie, Revolutions. The film follows Neo, of course it does, who is now shown to be living an average life, working as a video game developer. Soon, a group of rebels led by a programmed version of Morpheus manages to free Neo from his new version of the Matrix he finds himself in, and off they go to endure an epic showdown against a new enemy that is holding Trinity captive. The film score was produced by Johnny Klimek and Tom Tykwer. It came as a bit of a surprise to fans, as the first 3 films were scored by the great Don Davis. The song White Rabbit was prominently featured in the trailer for the film, serving as an ode to Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, a novel whose themes were kinda borrowed from the original Matrix films. Coming up, we have Mark Boone Jr. Okay, Mark Boone definitely hit it big by starring in the hit TV show Sons of Anarchy, featuring as a smart, witty, and badass biker. What isn't there to love, huh? He played the role of Bobby Munson, a wiser and loved member of the gang who was with them till the series' last episode on December 9th, 2014. A fun fact from the show, Munson's middle name was Bobby Elvis, and he was shown in later episodes wearing an Elvis Presley costume. The show itself follows the Sons of Anarchy and their descent from loved outlaws to becoming the thing they swore to destroy. You'll have to watch the show to figure out what we mean. The TV series shows us how they lock horns with other prominent gangs, both in their area and beyond. These include the True IRA, the Aryan Brotherhood, and the Nordics. It's really an awesome watch, and we definitely recommend it. The show also managed to gross a weekly 4.9 million viewers, making it the most watched series being broadcasted on FX at the time. It surpassed other big hits such as The Shield, Nip Tuck, and so on. The final episode actually managed to pull in 9.2 million viewers. Talk about popularity, eh? Moving on, we have Joe Pantoliano. Now, Joe here also starred in a very successful hit film, but not in the way you'd think. He was one of the leading cast in the movie Baby's Day Out. The movie was a commercial success. He played the role of Nordy LeBlanc, one of Baby's accidental kidnappers. So the movie itself follows a group of 3 thieves who try to rob a house but accidentally end up kidnapping a baby instead. Now, thankfully, they decide to take the baby and reunite the baby with the parents. What follows is a heartfelt comedy film showing the gang doing some dumb stuff mixed in cute dad moments. The film was such a success that at some point it was even being adapted into a video game slated for release on the NES, Game Boy, and Sega Genesis in October. However, sadly, it got cancelled to the dismay of many fans. I guess we'll never get to see a miniature cartoon Joe Pantoliano running around trying to find diapers. Another interesting fact to note is that the film actually hit very big in India, sparking a large number of remakes in languages like Telugu, Hindi, and so on. Alright, so now we have Georgia Fox. Much like her highly successful co-stars, Georgia Fox went on to star in other commercial hits. One of these was the 2019 sci-fi film 3022. In the movie, she takes on the role of Diana Uris. From crime to sci-fi, the woman sure does know how to switch things up. The movie itself follows a crew of 4 astronauts tasked with operating the Pangaea space station for the next 10 years. Things quickly fall apart, as by the 5th year, the crew's mental health starts to deteriorate. The crew captain decides decides to call it quits and for everyone to return home, only to find out Earth has been destroyed in a horrific explosion. To find out what happens next, you'll have to go watch the movie for yourself. A magazine called The Hollywood Reporter applauded the movie's efforts to pull off big VFX sequences, even though it had a limited budget, a feat you rarely see nowadays. In fact, the movie recently surged in popularity during the pandemic as it rose to the 9th most popular title overall on Netflix. Talk about a late comeback, eh? Following up, we have Stephen Tobolowsky. Stephen here took things to a whole new level by going from live action to animated films. The film in question was 2004's Garfield, a hilarious comedy following a lazy cat and his pet owner named, wait for it, John. Yes, we know it's a cliche, picked straight out from the popular pseudonym John Doe, but hey, we know most of us laugh like crazy throughout the film, so I mean, it's a win-win, right? Stephen played the role of Happy Chapman, a popular TV news anchor in the Garfield universe. If for some unknown reason any of you haven't heard Garfield before, first off, we feel sorry for you. That's truly a childhood you're never getting back. It's like this, folks. A childhood without Garfield is like pizza without ketchup. It just doesn't work, man. Anyways, let us give you a quick rundown of how Garfield got to where it is today. So at some point in the 70s, popular cartoonist Jim Davis decided it would be a good idea to create a lazy cartoon cat with a wacky pet owner named John. Well, it worked, ladies and gents. It worked like a charm. Did you know? At some point, Jim Carrey was considered for the role of John Arbuckle, and Angelina Jolie, yes, you heard that right, Angelina Jolie was slated to play the role of Liz. However, they both had busy schedules, so they were unable to accept the roles at the time. It's such a shame, as we could have witnessed something even greater than what happened and missed it ever so slightly. Not to bring the movie down though, as it grossed a total of $203.7 million, bringing in a staggering $21 million in the opening weekend alone. Talk about kicking it off with a bang? Something ironic to note, the movie, despite being about a lazy cat, took possibly the most work done in an animated film at the time. That's pretty cool, eh? That's a wrap for this video. Do you think we missed a movie? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.